Today is Tuesday, October 4, 2016. Welcome to this edition of the government's news brief. In the news, sunken dredge in Mazaruni River hinders supply of medicine to hinterland villages, National Road Safety Council plans to intensify awareness programs, and government's 2017 housing program to provide housing for low-income earners and public servants. Stay tuned for the details. Thank you for staying with us. I am Renetta LaFleur. Now for the details. The sunken dredge in the Mazaruni Channel is hindering the delivery of medical supplies to Isano and other hinterland communities. Details from Delicia Haynes.
The unsalvaged dredge or dragger in the Mazaruni Channel, Region 7, is affecting the supply of drugs to health facilities in a number of villages along the Mazaruni River. Medex Josephine Murphy explains.
Presently, for the past time since the pontoon is in the channel, we really ain't getting no drugs coming up because we just use the jet boat.
The Medex adds that before the dragger sank 3 months ago, regional drug supplies were unaffected. The system of requisitioning for drugs and other medical supplies were complied with and done in a timely manner.
Normally before we run out of drugs, we order in advance. So by the time before it finished, we get in stocks. Both Isano, Isenro, well, Korpong does use air flight. We just use the river.
The Medex notes that Isano has not had any challenges in the health sector in terms of providing quality health care. Moreover, the hinterland communities have not had any major reports of serious illnesses or chronic diseases. Recently, the Regional Health Officer of Region 7, Edward Sigala, described the region's health sector performance as commendable and projected for it to be even better in 2017. Meanwhile, the government has engaged the services of a salvager to remove the dredge. For the Government News Brief, I am Delicia Haynes.
The National Road Safety Council, NRSC, plans to intensify its education and awareness programs to help curb the growing road carnage. Paul McAdam tells us more.
Coordinator of the National Road Safety Council, the NRSC, Ramona Durgan, says they are working on a soft enforcement campaign to address the increasing road fatalities.
We are preparing some proposals to send to the Minister and the Commissioner of Police and the Traffic Chief to see how we can use another method of enforcement for the public.
Durgan says that the NRSC will be measuring the effectiveness of the campaign, which targets the attitudes of road users. Special focus will be placed on drunk drivers.
We've been at the National Road Safety Council for almost 10 years, and we've been using different methods to try to get education and attitude change in people's home. And it's now working, as we can see with the stats. It's not working. So we're going to be trying new methods this Road Safety Month. We're in planning right now.
The education awareness campaigns are expected to be rolled out in time for Road Safety Month, which is observed in November. For the year, 102 deaths have occurred as a result of accidents on the roadways. For the same period last year, 90 deaths were recorded. In 2015, a total of 106 road deaths were recorded. Paul McAdam, Government News Brief.
The government's housing program for 2017 will focus on providing housing for low-income earners and state employees. Find out more from Tiffany Rodius.
More than 100 apartments will be constructed for low-income earners and state employees in 2017. Minister within the Ministry of Communities, Valerie Adams Patterson, says the focus will be on making homes available through arrangements such as renting to own.
We're focusing on low-income and state employees. So if you're a state employee, a police, a soldier, a nurse, teacher, immediately you're in a category that fits, the whole scenario here with the reason for these houses. Your income is also taken into consideration.
Single flat, double flat apartments, condominiums and duplexes are being considered. Adams-Patterson says this approach allows for efficient use of the available land.
No, you're not sharing. You have your own space. It's a complete apartment with your bedroom, kitchen, everything. The only space you share is when you go to the stairs or the elevator. The Little and Great Diamond, there's a large plot of land there that we are developing. There is a plot of land in East Repentance. We're going to do 4 condominiums there. And Commons Lodge, we're going to develop some housing units there.
In a recent interview with Gina, Minister Adams-Patterson said the government was discontinuing the 1,000 homes turnkey housing project at Perseverance and Providence, given poor occupancy rate and a number of people still waiting for a house lot. Financing for the condos and duplexes will be proposed for in the 2017 budget. For the Government News Brief, I'm Tiffany Rogers.
Residents of several Indigenous communities in Region 1 received their Jubilee grants to start a sustainable project of their choice. We have the details in this Namila Henry report.
Over the weekend, $8.1 million in Jubilee grants were handed over to Tushals of several communities by Minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Valerie Garrido-Lowe. The minister reminded the village leaders that government is committed to supporting their communities and projects.
We are committed to supporting you in your communities, and it's a great thing that you have been able to come up with plans how you're going to spend this money, because it's a lot of money. And as Tushals leaders of your communities, it would really be, we would like to think that you and after discussion with community, can put this money where it's needed.
Lower Kaituman received $1.4 million, Savannah Blackwater $1.2 million, Unity Square $1 million, Varasina $1 million, Morowana $1 million, Aruka Mouth $1 million, and Barima Karaibo $1.5 million. Leaders were urged by the Minister Lowe to take pride in whatever project they embark on.
Villages, they get stuff, and next thing you know, you go back a couple months after, lurking around here and there. We don't want that. We want you to care for whatever you have received. That way, you can always have for a long time. And then when you do apply another time, you can show and explain that I have received this, and look, it's still working.
$280 million was allocated to aid 212 Indigenous communities carry out projects that will benefit their communities. The grants range from $1 million to $2 million. During the recently concluded National Tushals Conference in August 2016, $2.5 million was handed over to 2 Indigenous communities in Region 9. Minister Lowe says that development of Indigenous communities remains high on the government's agenda. For this Government News Brief, I am Namila Henry.
Increased usage of the Demerara Harbour Bridge is contributing to increased maintenance costs. Find out more from Delon Sanko.
General Manager of the Demerara Harbour Bridge Corporation, Ralston Adams, says the cost to maintain the bridge is increasing every year.
Since I'm there, the government has pumped in excess of close to about $3 billion taxpayers' dollars into the maintenance of this bridge. But those monies are distributed yearly in the budget for maintenance because the monies that we generate from toll revenue is not adequate.
Opening of housing schemes in Region 3 and other activities have contributed to an increase in traffic across the Harbour Bridge. A rush hour traffic in the mornings and afternoon have led to long lines and traffic jam. In 2015, the government received expressions of interest for the undertaking of a feasibility study and design of a new bridge across the Demerara River. Adams says it is uneconomical to expend millions on maintaining a bridge.
So is it prudent to continue maintaining this over a period, or find a couple $100 million and invest it in a new bridge? So those are decisions that has to be looked at.
The floating toll bridge, which was designed to last 10 years, has outlived its years since it was opened to traffic on the 2nd of July 1978. In the 2016 budget, the sum of $150 million was allocated for the purchase of materials and continued maintenance of the bridge. The Demerara Harbour Bridge Corporation is a vital link for commuters between Region 3, 4 and further afield. It is estimated that close to 10,000 vehicles traverse the bridge every day. Delon Sanko for the Government News Brief.
That has brought us to the end of today's edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on Gina's website. Gina has an active Facebook page, and we encourage you to visit and like us so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Do join us again tomorrow for another edition of the Government News Brief. Until then, I am Renetta LaFleur. Thank you for watching.